Our first Q&A is for Mark. Mark, can you speak to the drivers of double-digit revenue growth in 2023 and 2024?
Thanks, Christy. I think when we looked at the 3 years out and we looked at our durable model, acknowledging we're coming off a fantastic 21. Right? We have tough comps in 22, but we see an implied acceleration into 22 and 23 that will drive our growth going forward.
Our next question is, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Christy, if I could just add to that. We're super excited to have opportunities like payable domains, our investments in WordPress, the aftermarket, and our payments and commerce where we're seeing great early results, all part of this sort of double-digit durable business that we shared with you today.
Our next question is for Aman. You've owned Point for about a year. Can you give us a sense of what has worked well as you have integrated, and how that might be instructive for future deals?
Yeah, our focus with acquisitions is that we want teams that build amazing products for customers, and Point is a fantastic example of that. We actually, when we do M&A, we go in and do our own NPS surveys to see what customers say about the companies we're looking at. And once we decide to buy a company, we want to integrate it deep into the stack so that we can open up that opportunity for all our customers. And Point, particularly, the team here did a fantastic job. I think Roger touched on it. Just the number of product launches was fantastic and coming very, very quickly. I'm sure Osama would love to weigh in on that. So Osama, how about you tell the story from your perspective coming in?
Hey, thanks, Aman. I feel like we did diligence both ways here. We wanted to make sure this is a fit, and we fell in love with the awesome assets that we found at GoDaddy. And within about 100 days of closing, we were already piloting GoDaddy payments on websites and marketing, and that set the tone and an amazing pace for a lot of awesome products. And the best thing is that we found that our customers really love what we have to offer.
Great. This next one is a follow-on for you, Osama. Can you talk about payments as a new on-ramp and the stickiness of that product longer term?
Sorry. Yeah, sure. Hey, thank you for that. Payments is the most important utility in business. Utilities are sticky by nature because everything else is built on top of it, and therefore they're hard to switch up. We feel that every business wants to be transactional, even if they're not looking for a commerce solution, quote unquote. So we're enabling it at the account level, as you heard today, in the easiest possible way. This allows us to make every user and surface across GoDaddy transactional, starting with domains at the top of our funnel. And when customers love it, they tell everyone else they know. At scale, I see the potential for a second on-ramp and significant market pull down the road.
This next question is for Mark. Given the inflammatory environment and rising interest rates, does the company see any concerns on refinancing of future debt and potential increase to financing costs?
It's hard to predict the future, but we come back to we have a strong balance sheet. We have a durable model that generates a lot of cash flow. We have access to the credit markets, and as I discussed in the presentation, our leverage model, we're committed to keeping that at 2 to 4 times. So we've seen over time our model is able to withstand the macroeconomic environment, and we believe we can continue to do so.
This next question is for Mark as well. Can you please shed some light on the FCF guidance, and is it going to be a back-end loaded, and what exit levels should we be thinking for 2024?
I think when you look at it, we went through the details of how we think the CAGR is going to work. I would look at it as normalized EBITDA will be growing at a 15% CAGR. You can imply that free cash flow will be growing at a similar annual growth rate as well.
Great. For Aman, what are the most important performance indicators investors should be focused on to track the success of upsell and attach?
Yeah, we're super excited about some of the data we've shared with you today. And definitely we'll continue to share how we do product launches, which continue to show the pace of innovation at the company accelerating. In terms of financial metrics, Mark shared with you today a broader set of metrics. And for sure, the ARR numbers for our ANC pillar will be a great way for you to see our progress in the space.
And just to add to that, Aman, we are going to be providing the ARR metrics by pillar and some subsets within that. And we will be doing so on a quarterly basis so that people will be able to track our progress more frequently.
This next one's for Mark. The $3 billion buyback and ASR announcements are emphatic statements of equity undervaluation. Can you talk about those announcements within the broader capital allocation framework?
I think what come back to, we have the fortunate ability of a predictable revenue stream, and we have durability in our model that allows us to look at our cash flow over the next 3 years and see our ability to not only invest in the business to drive innovation, but return value to our shareholders. And I want to focus on that durable and the predictable and the realistic ability for us to balance both, which is a key advantage for us. I would even say competitive advantage for us going out over the next 3 years. So those are the tenets of how we look at this. Again, balancing our ability to invest in innovation, but at the same time return a value to our shareholders.
Great. For Aman and Mark both, can you talk about the growth levers you have the highest confidence in? What are the key milestones we should be tracking?
Yeah, as I started to talk about earlier, there are parts of our business, the aftermarket, the opportunity with WordPress to serve GoDaddy pros, the continued innovation in domains with payable domains, and our sort of early results with commerce and payments. If you take a step back, our core priorities for the last year plus have been commerce driven by presence, GoDaddy Pros, and innovation in domains. And what we've done today is we've brought it all together and said, look, we're going to bring commerce and payments to every surface in the company. Doesn't matter if it's domains, doesn't matter if it's website builder, doesn't matter if it's creating a piece of content. Every piece is going to have a bit of commerce, have a bit of payments in it. So those are the areas we're most excited about. Those are the areas that our teams are focused on, and we're super excited about the results that we just posted in 2021. And Osama got to share some data points on it. I got to share some early data on it, and I think it's been exciting for all of us. Mark, I don't know if what you want to add to that.
Well, just with my smile, I hope you see the excitement around where we're going with commerce and some of the milestones. And I'm really excited to also look at our ARR metrics. And I know we've got a lot of feedback from investors and analysts about providing more around this. And you'll see, based on our earnings, based on our some of what we said today, we're here to provide transparency, and we want people to track us in our progress for our stated objectives. And not only are we providing ARR by the pillars, we're providing ARR in things like create and grow. We're providing ARR in commerce-related SKUs. Now, I know I indicated in the earnings that we will be updating that, but that's because we will continue to evolve our metrics to give more transparency as our business grows. And I can't forget to add GMV, right? We've added GMV as a disclosure, which is a great indicator of our growing business within our community. So again, a lot of great stuff, and we want to make sure everybody has the ability to track us on our progress.
Okay. Our next question, I think a couple of you are going to want to chime in here. So we'll start with Aman. Many companies are focused on payments. Why will customers choose GoDaddy? What are GoDaddy's competitive advantages in the payment space?
Yeah, it's no longer an open question. Customers are choosing GoDaddy every day. New customers coming into Websites Plus Marketing have multiple choices, the best names in the world, and over 60% of them are choosing GoDaddy Payments. In Managed WordPress, where folks have 140 choices, almost a quarter of customers going through the flow are picking GoDaddy Payments. So this is not an open question anymore. Customers are clearly telling us they want GoDaddy to provide them with the one-stop shop. They want the GoDaddy toolset, the seamless, the intuitive part, and backed by care, the human touch that makes the difference for our customers. And I'll turn it to Osama to talk a little bit about our offering and why we're so excited about some of the things we're bringing to market already and also coming up.
Hey, thanks, Aman. As I mentioned before, payments is a utility. And so, yes, you have to do it extremely well, but it's also a means to an end. It's what do you do with it? And the massive customer base we have, 21 million customers, the surfaces we have, whether it's domains or websites or emails, the ability to list on marketplaces, social search, just so much potential to integrate it into those surfaces and do it in an easier way for our customers than they can find anywhere else. That's what we're focused on. And we believe that's just an amazing combination and an awesome opportunity for shareholder value.
And maybe before you go, Christy, turn it to Farah. Farah, I'd love for you to just touch on our customers starting to see us as a commerce player. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I hope that many of you before today saw GoDaddy in market talking about our ability to help customers sell anything, anywhere. We've been broadly communicating in the US this value proposition, and we know it's resonating with customers for all the facts that Aman and Osama just shared. And we're just getting started. We will continue to be talking about commerce and payments because we know it's critically important for growth for entrepreneurs. So if you didn't see our campaign before, you got a sneak peek today. Hopefully you'll be keeping an eye out for ongoing focus in the future because this is an area we're incredibly excited about, and our customers are telling us with their daily choices how deeply it matters to them to rely on us as a one-stop shop. So we'll continue to talk to them about it.
Great. This next question is for Aman. You've been in the CEO seat for 2.5 years now. Can you talk about what keeps you excited at GoDaddy?
Oh my God, I'm excited about many things, but the thing that has me most excited is that the pace of change of the company continues to accelerate. And you can see that. 2 years ago, I remember doing an earnings call and one of the analysts asking me, Aman, how are we going to know if innovation is more or experimentation is making a difference? And 2 years in, nobody's asking me that question because people say, okay, we see it in the product roadmap, we see the change happening, we see stuff happening. And that gets me up in the morning every day. I don't know if people realize we did a big thing here today. We just told the world that every domain name is going to come with a payment instrument. GoDaddy has 84 million domains under management. Every person that buys a domain doesn't have to do anything else. They just start accepting payments. And our customers, we think they're going to love that. We think it's going to be so simple for them that it will be a game changer. And that's the type of innovative thinking we can bring to the table when we have the right assets. And at GoDaddy, we just have a fantastic set of assets. And that's what's got me excited. I mean, Osama talked about it eloquently. Roger talked about the sort of the operational muscle of the company improving, and Farah, our marketing, and Mark, the financials. It just all these pieces have come together really well. And as I look into the future, I say with complete confidence, I'm more excited today than the day I joined.
This next one is for you, Aman, and I think Farah will want to talk on here too. We talked about customer care-driven product innovation. Can you talk about that a bit more in the product roadmap that aligns with customer demand?
Yeah, our customers love our products, the tools that they need to be efficient, the tools that they need to work with their customers in a great way. But we work with micro businesses, and they are creative, they're resilient, they put their heart and soul into their business. But often they need somebody to call who can guide them, who can help them. And as August very eloquently said, we are the person that they call. When they want to do something with their customer, they rely on us. And that's a fantastic opportunity because we create millions of those human moments that give us energy, that give us information, that give us the data we need to continue to build the product, continue to hone our marketing, to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the customer. I talked about the entrepreneur's wheel today. Across that wheel, we laid out a set of needs that our customers have. Those needs are reinforced by what we hear and care on a daily basis. And that really powers our organization. I'll turn it to Farah to sort of cover a bit more on it.
Great. I have countless examples of customers stopping me on the street when I tell them that I work at GoDaddy, and they tell me, oh my gosh, I talked to a GoDaddy guide today and they were amazing. And they know their name at the GoDaddy, they know the GoDaddy guide's name, and they talk about how that guide really helped give them confidence. They will tell me that it changed their level of confidence and their progress and their growth. And that's so powerful, right? Think about how often after a customer care call, you hang up the phone and feel good. Nonetheless, great. What I'm also thrilled with specific to care is the fact that customers are engaging with us digitally, and they're also engaging with us via phone. And there is humanity in both of those, right? Think about how often a customer wants to engage via chat or via text. It's seamless and it's easy, and it enables them to focus on their day job. Sometimes they want to pick up the phone and call us, and they have amazing results there too. And there's a feedback loop back into my team from a marketing standpoint. So we're always learning every day what our customers need and what they're saying to us. So it is an incredibly powerful tool for our customers and for GoDaddy.
This next one is for Aman. What's the TAM for aftermarket? Also, what percentage of aftermarket sales are marketplace versus GoDaddy's own inventory?
Yeah, the fantastic thing about the aftermarket is that it's like real estate. You can sort of buy and sell the same asset again and again. And over the last couple of years that, we've just done phenomenally well, and I'm super excited about it. I'll actually turn it to Roger because I know a lot of the great work done in the aftermarket with his leadership. So Roger, why don't you talk about the aftermarket?
Yeah, thanks, Aman. Over the last 2 years, we've really executed against new levers to drive the aftermarket business, and we're very excited about the results. We've been investing in experimentation, specifically, AI and machine learning. We hired a whole bunch of scientists. We invested on both sides of the marketplace. On the supply side, we've unlocked passive inventory with list for sale. On the demand side, we've scaled brokers, not just in terms of number of people, but also, additional languages and time zones to provide that white glove service for the customer, for the retail buyers of aftermarket. Overall, our execution is just very strong, and it will continue. I'll pass it over to Mark to talk about sort of the second part of the question.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we've been getting that question a lot, and I just want to make sure I get it out there. The amount of our own inventory that we're selling on aftermarket is immaterial. I won't get into the actual numbers, but it's pretty insignificant to our entire base.
This next one is for you, Mark. The new disclosures are very helpful for parsing out the growth opportunity between platforms and applications, but still remaining on the wish list is insight into the payments business. Can you help investors size the payments business today, or the penetration rate of payments in the GMV? What is the offline to online mix of GMV today?
Great question. And I'll start with saying we're very early stage of payments, and we're seeing, we launched a quarter ago. We're seeing great activity, and Osama can comment on some of the great things we're seeing out there early stage, but it's a little early to start talking about metrics. And I'll acknowledge, we will reach a point where we will increase our disclosure around metrics, GMV, GPV. But right now, as we said always, 2021 was about the launch, 22 is about experimentation, and 23 is when we start seeing results in the marketplace. So more to come, but right now I think that's where we are.
This next one is for you, Mark, as well. What gives you the confidence in the sustainability of 20% free cash flow per share CAGR?
Well, I always come back to the durability of the model and our predictability. 85% retention rates and a cash flow generation that continues to allow us to get leverage, increase our market share, at the same time returning value to our shareholders. So confident in the 20 plus CAGR around cash flow per share, and we'll continue to drive the levers that allow us to get there.
For Aman, what product suite is your top decile customer taking? And how does churn look when customers are taking more products?
Yeah, so as we shared, the top decile customer is using a bundle of products with us. They're using a domain name, they have a website with us, they may do email, they also do commerce with us. And in the charts that I showed and Osama showed as well, you can clearly see that the lifetime value is pretty significant for that customer. And that lifetime value, in part, is driven by low churn rates for high-end customers. We've continued to add more and more customers, for example, at the higher end. For example, we disclosed the number of customers we have that have over $500 in ARPU, and that number moved this year to 1.5 million customers. So, again, between those two data points, it becomes pretty clear that there's a good set of customers at the higher ARPU, but as Osama showed today, there's a lot more opportunity there, and that's what we're going after with commerce and payments.
This next question is for Mark and Roger. At a broad level, what are your expectations for the inputs of units sold and average selling price in the aftermarket over the next 2 years? Would you expect them to be materially different from the prior 2 years based on recent innovation, or are there structural aspects that would have you believe they will still trend in an upward direction?
I'll take the first part, Roger, and you can talk about a little bit of what you're seeing in the future around innovation. Listen, couldn't be more excited about aftermarket. Aftermarket continues to be growing, and we're really excited about the volume of the transactions and the average deal size we're seeing. And that to us indicates there is real market demand around aftermarket. Now, it is a transactional business for us, and therefore predictability becomes based on any given quarter and market demand in that quarter. But we love what we're seeing there, and we believe it will continue to grow, and we will be able to innovate to take more and more of that market. Roger?
Yeah, as I said, we continue to be super confident in our execution in the aftermarket, and it's all these new levers that we're leaning into. And that's evidenced, in our results for the last few years. We have a strong team in place. We're continuing to add scientists, brokers, as you said. And, we'll continue to follow our offering principles that I talked about. Going after velocity and impact, building great customer experience, scaling efficiently. I think that's the spirit of the question is really how do we keep scaling? And, we continue to lean into those principles and the team's just, hitting all cylinders.
Great. This next one is for Aman and Osama. What is the opportunity to sell payments into the existing base? And what are your thoughts on Apple's tap to pay offering for iPhone? Do we have an opportunity to partner with them?
Yeah, we think that Apple Tap to Pay has come at a perfect time. We're talking about taking commerce and payments to every surface. So from our perspective, it coming to the iPhone makes total sense. And in terms of, our opportunities, I will turn it to Osama first, and I can come back and take a couple of top points. But Osama, why don't you go first?
Thanks, Aman. Hey, this is one of the things I'm most excited about. Honestly, I feel like sometimes people get it wrong. It's like, most businesses are created to be transactional, right? And nobody opens a business that I'm just going to offer information and never collect any money. Yet the way we look at commerce is we wait for the customer to kind of beg for it. We believe that making it available out of the box, the ability to enable transactions is way bigger than what we consider commerce. It's why only $5 trillion of consumer spending has been digitized 30 years into the internet. And so we are being very aggressive, creating it at the account level, doing it as easy as possible, attaching it to the top of the funnel, allowing every other product to simply have it. By the time the customer pushes a button and says they want to transact, it's already there. And so I think the potential is huge. We're seeing every time we put something out in front of our GoDaddy customer base of 21 million customers, they like it. And so we're going to keep doing it as long as we see that pattern. And just a couple of seconds on the Apple thing. Look, I think we shared in our numbers, we're already seeing about half of transactions in Q4 were tap and pay. That's a massive shift from just a few years ago. Right before the pandemic, it was 10%. So we're not surprised. We've been expecting this move, and we're glad that Apple is going in this direction, and we'll make it available to our customers as soon as they tell us they want to do it.
And maybe I'll just jump in and add that as investors well know, analysts well know, that we price the payment product very competitively. This is the price point where, it puts money back in our customers' pocket. So obviously it's priced to take share, and, we're absolutely excited about being able to approach our existing base of customers with it as well.
And I think this is where the CFO jumps in and says, and it's priced to make money as well.
This next one's for you, Mark. Free cash flow and normalized EBITDA are outpacing revenue. What's the primary driver of leverage? And given the enormous opportunity, how does management balance margin expansion with investments in revenue growth?
Yeah, that's great. And I think I mentioned that previously, like the balance between investing in innovation, grow our business, as well as returning shareholder value. And listen, I really look at this. We're fortunate. We can do both, right? And we can provide that balance. So, in the tech world, everybody knows that great innovation and technology and products wins over time. So we will continue to invest in that. Our leverage really comes from marketing, and Farah has talked about some of the great things going on in marketing and care, right? Where we have relationships with our customers and we're able to grow upon those relationships. And that really provides a basis for leverage for us to grow our normalized EBITDA margin. And then on top of that, GnA, we're simplifying our footprint. We've talked about it in the past, and we're continuing to move to the cloud. We're continuing to look at our physical footprint in this new world as we come out of the pandemic and say, how can we get more efficient? How can we be more practical? And how can we streamline? So it's simpler, it's better, it's efficient, and it's agile.
And I'd be remiss to not weigh in. Thank you for mentioning marketing, Mark. Marketing has been a core strength of GoDaddy's, right? With very high brand awareness, that's come through an ongoing disciplined investment in marketing over time. Today we talked to you about our historical progress. That progress is going to carry into the future, right? We're tapping into increased capabilities in search engine marketing, seeing better results from integrated marketing campaigns. So we're actually able to produce more with the same or less spending, which is an amazing opportunity for GoDaddy, right? Coupled with 21 million customers around the world, we have an active audience that we can engage with. So these are all ways that we can continue to go to market in very disciplined and durable ways.
I'd love to give Christy, I'd love to give a little bit of color on the product side on this as well. And I'm going to share with you a quote from Roger, which he says to me quite often. And he'll just sort of look very straight and say, what I do is simplify. We just do the fewest things and we do them really well. And that's our philosophy in product and engineering. We have fantastic talent on the product engineering side. We continue to attract fantastic talent on the product engineering side, but we are working on the fewest things that add value. And our teams are more and more disciplined about being laser focused on working on those things, because only by working on those fewest things that add value for our customers can we create shareholder value. So that's how we're approaching product, and that's why you'll continue to see us, yes, invest in product technology, but provide outside product releases, because that's how our teams are working.
Right, this next one's for Mark. What type of revenue impact is embedded into the 3-year growth outlook for these new initiatives in domain and commerce? What are the potential upside growth drivers?
Yes, I always love the guidance above the guidance question, I call it. Listen, we're really comfortable with our guidance where it is today. We have a practice of looking out for the 3 years, seeing what we see, and being prudent when we're laying out what we think we can accomplish. Are there upsides? We've talked about aftermarket payments as a transactional business that will come down the pike as well. As we get more into the 3 years, we'll continue to be transparent and update everybody. But we're excited about where we are. We're excited about looking at our durable profitable revenue growth. We're excited about the opportunities that are in front of us, and we're really comfortable with our double-digit CAGR at 10%.
This next one is for Aman. What is the roadmap for international expansion, and how similar are customer acquisition strategies ex-US?
Yeah, we are in the fortunate position where the GoDaddy brand has awareness globally, right? I think we've shared in the past that we're at over 9 million customers out of our 21 million customers that are outside the US. And we haven't disclosed sort of specific dates on when we're going to take our commerce and payments capabilities outside the US, but I can share with you that we're super excited about it, and it will follow sort of our major markets. And just to remind everyone, our major markets are Canada, the UK, India, and Australia outside the US. So over time, that's where you can expect us to bring commerce, payments, and other capabilities to the table.
Great. And I'd love to weigh in on this because you also asked about customer acquisition channels and how similar they are. I would contest that there's been no time like now in terms of similarity, right? Around the world, we're seeing customers are experiencing similar things and needing similar things from GoDaddy. As we continue to expand our products, that'll enable us to drive even more scale. Today, when we look at how we go to market, we use very similar channel strategies when we go to market. Search engine marketing plays a huge role in how we go to market globally. We talked earlier about the fact that we're building our bidding capabilities in-house with machine learning. And based on recent experimentation, we delivered 34% upside. And now we're scaling that globally. Right? That is a huge opportunity for us. And then we go to market in integrated ways across multiple channels. That's common in all markets. And it ends up, as Aman said, generating very high brand awareness for us and enabling us to continue to grow.
And I'll just tack on to that. It is a very disciplined, repeatable approach that we can measure what we invest and the ROI we get that from that investment. So we go into areas that we see that model being able to be repeated and can get the benefit out of it, which creates that great return and the ability to penetrate.
Great. This next question is for Osama. Can you discuss the ability to offer much lower payment terms versus the competition?
Payments transaction cost, as long as I've been doing it, how long is that? Since 2002. I feel old saying it, but it's been tribal knowledge, the ability to use technology to route rapidly, the ability to manage risk efficiently. It really takes a lot of experience. At Point, we had built a significant level of experience, not just at Point, but I pulled some of the best payments talent in the world together to figure out how to merge online and offline. And I'm proud to say that at GoDaddy now we have one of the world's best teams working on that. It's a bit of our secret sauce. And so we're using it to be aggressive about taking market share and making money. And but I'll use this opportunity to just take it back to what I covered today. In case you didn't hear the whole thing, it's part of a bigger strategy, right? It's not just being aggressive in payment pricing on its own. We feel it's very early days in commerce. There's more change that's happened in the last year than any other time. Only $5 trillion has been digitized. It's less than 10% of all global consumer spending. And the level of complexity is growing exponentially. And with that exponential growth of complexity, businesses need better platforms, better solutions to manage it all, as opposed to trying to piece it together themselves. GoDaddy is better positioned than many of the players on the internet. It's why I'm here. We've got some of the best assets on the internet, domains, 84 million domains, 10 million mailboxes, websites, our thousands of care agents, our hundreds of millions of cards on file, our millions of pros, our hundreds of thousands of point of sale devices, our 21 million customers, and again, a very experienced team across commerce. We have a great track record of attaching products to that customer base, and with domains at the top of the funnel. We're doing that with payments, but it gives us an on-ramp for all transactional capabilities that eventually become commerce. And our customers want us to do this job. They want a one-stop shop from GoDaddy because it's hard to go back after you build your business and create a one-stop shop, right? So if you get it at the start, it's a lot easier. So when we put it in front of them, they take it. More importantly, we also want to move up market in an open ecosystem strategy. Open source and WordPress specifically has already done a lot to enable no code to take over on the web. And that's become a theme now. So we're leaning into WordPress as a capability, combining it with our connected commerce platform and enabling a level of ease and customization that hasn't existed before. We'll also enable developers and pros to extend our solution into every vertical and market so it doesn't depend just on our work. And we'll also help them to better monetize and give them distribution to that 21 million customers in exchange. So that as a strategy around this idea of being the best value for our customers, we believe is a very winning combination.
On the topic of domains payable, how do you plan to promote this product? It seems like a great and more professional alternative to other P2P players for micro merchants.
Yeah, I'm going to say that we're very, very excited about this product. I can't wait to see customer reaction to it. And we're going to be a little bit quiet on how we bring it to the world and how we market it. But look out, it's coming soon.
How has the competitive landscape evolved, especially within the website building space? Strong new product announcements and investment over the last year, but any holes or areas where customers are asking for more than you are looking to fill?
Yeah, we're really happy with the product that we have with Websites + Marketing. And as we shared today, that over the last 3 years, it's grown share by 40%. And that's fantastic. But customer needs do continue to evolve. And where it makes sense, we add new capabilities. For example, in earnings yesterday, I talked about us bringing in, tucking in the Reamaze capabilities to Websites + Marketing that allows our customers to have a single message inbox. They can pull their Instagram inbox, their Facebook Messenger, their voice line, and handle all their customer interactions. And just customers have very, very quickly started adopting that product. So, where we do see a need, where we get customer feedback, and we have, as you know, a very good relationship with our customers, a tight feedback loop, we make sort of the decisions to either build it or, partner or buy or tuck in something that brings that capability to our customers.
Great. So within core, what is the outlook for domains versus legacy hosting and security? As domains has been a strong performer, while investors question legacy's ability to grow.
So you've seen we've combined them both into the core platform, and you'll see we've given guidance on where we think the growth will be as a combined. Just a couple things in hosting and legacy hosting in specific. We've seen in the past is low single-digit growth, but it is a high cash flow generator for us and has very high margins. So we are very happy with the ability to generate cash and invest that in other areas of the business. And Mon can go into some of the opportunities we see around hosting in and of itself, and Roger can talk about some of the opportunities on domains. But we see that we look at it from a customer point of view. This is very much about what our customers need and what our customers want and our ability to attach. And the statistic I always like to give is for every dollar one of our customers and legacy hosting gives us, they spend another dollar somewhere else in our funnel. And our real opportunity is, can we make that other dollar $2? Can we provide more benefits, get it to $3? And then the exponential growth we're talking about, and the one-stop shop that we really offer to our customers over the basis and our ability to grow that.
And maybe just to complete that thought around looking at it from the perspective of the customer, our customers are moving from legacy hosting products to managed WordPress. WordPress is by far the tool of choice for our designer and developer customers. And as we look at the capabilities and tiers of product that they want, we're particularly excited about the Pagely acquisition and bringing and integrating it very deeply, just like we did Point. So we can provide a spectrum of services and manage WordPress as well. So just to sort of have folks understand that it's the same customer that sort of goes against managed WordPress and legacy hosting for us.
Mark, can you discuss the pacing of the $3 billion buyback? Will it be an even $1 billion per year or more front or back end loaded?
We will be prudent and disciplined how we go into the market and use that $3 billion authorization. For modeling purposes, I would put it at $1 billion a year, and we'll keep everyone updated, but we will be prudent and look to take advantage of any market opportunities we have around that authorization.
Back to the payable domains topic. Will that just be US focused or will it be rolled out across all of our markets? And can we also talk about the international opportunity and how you see growth going forward?
Yeah, so on payable domains, we will start in the US and then we will enable it across our markets. It's too early still to talk about when it's going to come into international markets. We're super excited and focused to get it out in the US. The international opportunity overall continues to be fantastic for us. As you know, we have the ability to sort of put our marketing dollars where we get the best return, and we have done that over the last 2 or 3 years, being able to deploy dollars across the world and taking share there. We've seen fantastic growth in the international business. It is a business that does a lot of domains, which means we have opportunity to add more products in the future there too, which we're particularly excited about, especially with something like payable domains, which is just very, very simple to bring together.
This next one's for Mark. Of all of the new product launches, including payable domain, Blue Skies, Websites + Marketing, Managed WordPress attached, which would be the most significant driver of GMV growth in the near term?
Well, I think I have to point to my friend Osama here. Right? Obviously, our ability to grow commerce will be our ability to grow GMV, and our ability to help our customers be successful in that area will increase our opportunity around GMV exponentially. And I don't know, Osama, you can.
Yeah, sure. I'll weigh in quickly here. Look, we started with Websites + Marketing. And that's also already going really well. Then we added WordPress. We continue to iterate the experience on those, and the more we improve it, the more adoption we get. We've removed more friction than anyone else in the payments sign-up process. I think you guys should go through our onboarding flow just to see how much simpler it is already today. And we plan to make it even simpler. Now, we're just getting started on some of these other services. Websites were the most obvious. We're getting started on new services, and so we can't really tell the trajectory until we start rolling those out. But I believe between websites and in person, because we already do, at this point, we brought a lot of experience doing in person, and that's where still 85-90% of commerce is done. We believe that those two will continue to be the biggest drivers, but the potential for domains is just massive. Because just to spend a second on this, there's the potential here to reshape how the internet works, right? To have payments. I used to think way back in the day when I started payments, somebody should have put this in the browser. Commerce would have been so much easier. And therefore, my next job after PayPal, I went to Google to put it in the phone because I felt like the phone would become transactional out of the box. And that's what's happened. That's the big difference between mobile and the web. And so this is an opportunity for GoDaddy to leverage an asset where it has a lot of strength to make the infrastructure of the web more transactional. So the potential there is huge.
Next one's for Aman. How do you increase cross-selling into the 21 million customers?
Yeah, so we have obviously a secret weapon with Care, which is built over 25 years of improvement, culture, people joining forces very, very closely to improve the process more and more. And Care ends up being an area where we're able to attach products, we're able to upsell products. But over the last couple of years, we've been doing a better and better and better job of bundling products online as well. So if you go through our path and just search for a domain, you'll see more and more sophisticated ways for our customers to choose a bundled product, to realize that there's a better offer for them, to realize that, when they're trying, depending on what stage of their entrepreneur journey they're in, we've got something for them. And today we have two levers now. We have the lever of being able to attach on the site. We have the lever of being able to attach on Care. And as we shared with you, the example of email, where we've continued to sort of attach more and more email into the base. I'm told by GoDaddy leaders who've been here much longer than I have that there's been an open question for many years from the external community on how many more emails can you attach. And here we are today telling you about a 25% penetration rate and customers absolutely loving the product. And we've just continued to go. And Farah, I don't know if you're off mute. Do you want to add more?
I am. Two comments worth noting. You may have recalled from earlier today that Roger talked about the fact that our conversion on GoDaddy.com has gone up significantly by 10% year over year. And that is for existing and new customers, right? Our existing customers come back and visit GoDaddy.com as well as call Care. And that's evidence of both bundling, smart cross-sell, and making certain that we're presenting opportunities to our existing customers. And then, Aman, to your point on Office and productivity solutions, if we reflect back, 5 years ago, it was a third of the size that it is today, which means we've been wildly successful in helping customers understand the value of additional products and services like email, right, that make them both more professional, better to engage with their customers, and do so more effectively, and drive growth.
Great. This next one, I think a few of you will want to weigh in, but we'll start with Farah. Can you discuss the go-to-market for moving up market? For example, is there a different sales approach or marketing for maybe something like WooSaaS, and how is that different from WooCommerce? Is success there upside to the 10% CAGR, or is it built in?
We are continuing, as we talked about today, to build capabilities to go up market. And we do know that that will require different ways of going to market. The great news is we talk to our customers every day, right? So more complex sales often require more hands-on, and we know how to do that. We've also proven that we're exceptional at experimentation. Roger talked about the fact that we've seen exponential growth in experimentation. We'll continue to do that with our customers. And lastly, when we think about going up market, remember we have 21 million customers. We don't have to go anywhere. They are already our customers. So it's just finding ways to engage with them through existing surface areas, whether it be GoDaddy.com, our GoDaddy guides, or other areas that we'll continue to experiment into. Osama, you jumped off mute. Do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'd love to add a little bit here. Just a couple of thoughts. Our 21 million customers, as Farah pointed out, 10 million or so, I think, are in the U.S. That represents about a third of U.S. small businesses. And it represents the economy. It's very similar to how the economy is distributed for small businesses. And so we already have quite a few upmarket customers, especially in domains. It's about giving them products and then helping them connect the dots to those products. And yes, there's learnings that we're going to get through there, but we're off to a great start. The numbers we're seeing, we've already, just in the last 6 months, between launching beta testing payments and launching our connected commerce product, we tripled the size of the average customer in our connected commerce platform. In my history, I've had to do this before. When I first started at PayPal, it was a long tail of sellers. It didn't look anything like it does today. In fact, we didn't have any large businesses. And we made that journey. But when I first got there, it was about $2,000 per customer per year on average. By the time I left, it was $100,000. And so a lot of learnings to leverage there. Point has an average customer about $250,000 a year in sales. That's our average customer across our whole base. That's where we're getting the billions of GMV that came with Point. So we had that muscle, and that's the muscle. That's the target we were going after. And then finally, recently, we brought in even additional talent for Pagely, who's really good at enterprise managed WordPress for some of the largest businesses in the world. And so we have a lot of muscles and a really good set of products, in addition to a decent set of our customers already in that category.
As a follow-up to the website conversion question, Farah, what do you attribute this improvement to?
Truly, I attribute it to experimentation. We've been very methodical about looking at how and where to improve the customer experience. We build a clear hypothesis, we test again, and we deliver results. And then the fact that we get to talk to our customers every day, we have a feedback loop that makes our experimentation and our hypotheses sharper. And that's what delivered the results that we saw this past year.
Hey, Christy, and I just want to go back on the last question because there was a tail end of it on the guidance and the CAGR and building in some of our growth, and I just want to make sure we don't skip over that. As far as the great opportunities we have in front of us and our 10% plus CAGR over the next 3 years, there's a reason we've gone to ranges within our guidance, and that's to acknowledge that we have upsides within those ranges based on our ability to see these opportunities. So we're excited, a lot to come. We have implied acceleration within our 3 years related to a great 21 and where we're seeing 2022. But we went to ranges to try to acknowledge that there's opportunities in there for upside.
This next one's for Aman. What are the advantages of WordPress commerce versus other CMS commerce players out there, and how do we gain greater share in our website building products?
Yeah, so WordPress by itself is the largest CMS platform in the world. a very large percentage, depending on how you cut it, 60% of sites in the world run on WordPress. So already WordPress has a huge base, and it has taken more share from custom code sites than all of the other application build providers out there. So by itself, it's a very, very big base. It also is the preferred tool for designers and developers. So it's no surprise that designers and developers would use that tool to build commerce sites as well. Right? As we look at our ability, that is a massive ecosystem, and we have been in the WordPress space a very long time. We are the largest WordPress host in the world in our hosting business. So when we look at those capabilities coming together, especially layering onto it, our capabilities coming from Skyward, capabilities coming from Pagely, our own managed WordPress capabilities, we're bringing together a powerhouse of talent and technology to be able to sort of address various levels of need for the customer. So we absolutely expect our investment in this space to generate results for us over the next few years. And I don't know, Sam, if you want to just touch on, I know you touched on this a little bit already, but maybe just to reiterate one or two things on that.
Yeah, I'd love to. The magic of WordPress is open source. It's just the fact that the sky's the limit. That's why it has such a massive developer base. There are lots of other walled gardens. In fact, the vast majority of other CMSs out there are walled gardens where a few people control the direction, and as a result, you're kind of putting your earnings or your future in their hands. With WordPress, you just have the ability to either build whatever's missing yourself or hire somebody to build it out for you. So there's no limit. Combined with already a massive ecosystem, like millions of designers and developers that earn their living building it out. Now, it's missing a few things. So, sometimes when it's organized by a few people, it's a lot of the earlier things are easier to get out of the box. We see our job as to fill that gap by contributing back to the WordPress community, by enabling a lot of that ease out of the box. And so we feel like we can get to the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and maybe just to jump in on our own website builder with Websites Plus Marketing, where WordPress does a phenomenal job of having a ton of capability and customization and, all the tools that any sort of larger customer would need. Websites Plus Marketing does a fantastic job for the small micro customer that just wants to quickly get a site up, doesn't need a ton of complexity, just needs things to work in a simple way and perform really well, which is what Websites Plus Marketing is targeted at. Websites Plus Marketing builds beautiful sites, builds sites very, very quickly, but those sites perform very, very well. If we look at the metrics that Google uses to look at Websites Plus Marketing outshines every other product out there every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It is built for performance, built for the micro business, and we love that, and we're going to continue to use that at the base of the pyramid for customers.
This next one's for Mark. What's the reason behind implementing buybacks now?
When we looked at our journey over the next few years and we were discussing our strategy, came back to the durability of our model, looking at the balance we can provide and our ability to invest in innovation as well as return value to our shareholders. So it's really taking a look at a 3-year outlook, looking at our cash flow generation, look at our ability to invest in future long-term value, but also acknowledge that we want to return value to our shareholders and have the ability to do so. So that's the timing. It was really looking around our strategy for the next 3 years, what we can accomplish, the strength of our balance sheet, and really defining what our journey is going to be.
This next one is for Aman. GoDaddy Guides productivity was impacted in early COVID that we talked about at our last Investor Day. Any lessons learned in remote work and efficiencies that can be sustainable?
Yeah, we've learned a lot in terms of remote work. I actually published an article on LinkedIn where I talked about how when we're hiring new guides, they want to know whether they have to work in the office and how much they can be remote. So I'm literally expecting job offers now that say, just like compensation, they have a line item that says, hey, I'm allowed to work remotely X% of the time. And this is a new demand for people. And it's actually a competitive differentiator. For GoDaddy, we work very hard to create a culture in the office, in our space, where people work together very, very well. So we were concerned a little bit when everyone went remote. Well, our supervisors, our managers, our guys have done a fantastic job over the last couple of years to enhance the tools where they've started to deliver that same culture, that same moment to customers remotely as well. In fact, if you look at the last 2 years during COVID times, even though we've had everyone be remote and there were a set of innovations that we had to do and technological challenges that we had to deal with, and our guys had challenges where they had kids at work and stuff, you find our NPS in care just head upwards. Because ultimately we found that sweet spot where we were able to have a very efficient workforce. We are now actually able to open jobs remotely in parts of the world where we otherwise couldn't have had guides, so we can be very efficient while at the same time provide that very high level of service that GoDaddy is known for, and again, keep pushing NPS up.